why would anyone use pistols only? Well, DMZ game mode could be fun with some James Bond Splinter Cell playstyle. But which are the best pistols for range, short range, full auto, single fire? Let me get you a build for every single one of them for their respective damage range. Behind me is the X13 auto, but for the long range, we have two guns. That's the 50 GS and the Basilisk, which also is good as a shotgun. Let's begin with the 50 GS. Has the first damage drop off after 25 meters. So probably the only gun of all of them that we could play as a sniper, or as something to at least take the guys off at the end of the hallway. For that, we're actually going to put on the Corvus Soul. Yes, pistol with a side, followed up by the SI Tyrant 50 barrel, which increases our damage range by another 32%. There's two fire rate triggers, the competition and the hair. The hair gives you 33 and that one only 15, so it's very simple what we go for. Standard, you have 7 rounds, but since you might have to spam it away, I guess the 13 round mag makes sense here. We're now taking this into the shooting range. The recoil is significant. You see the gun pop up. I mean, realistically, there is not actually recoil because you can just double tap it, as you see. Like it will shoot where it shoots, like always the same spawn, essentially. If you obviously triple tap it away, still the gun visually goes up, but it doesn't go up much. So actual recoil control is not really the issue. You could still think about putting something on for more vertical recoil control with a 50 comp. And then as you shoot in, you're even more on spawn. Just keep in mind that you're not actually shooting really much with the sight. The sight is just to align the gun. And then from that point on, you're more or less just can press the trigger and you shoot in one plane of existence. Yes, it looks plenty weird, but you'll get used to it to just double tap opponents left and right. I still do like the sight to actually align downside. Now the Basilisk also has a very good damage range. Now with the F-Tech Arrow Barrel, we would ruin our recoil by 5%, but we could get another 28% effective damage range as well, going for even more damage range and recoil steadiness. Here we're also going to put on the side with the SZ Recharge, or which one you ever like, for close and aim down side speed. Now for this gun, you need the Bryson Match Grade to also reduce the trigger response time, because it's a revolver. When you pull the trigger, there's a slight delay until the hammer actually goes bing bang bang and the gun shoots out. And doing that for recoil smoothness and fire speed, because you're going to run around with a piston quick whipper snapper down. Also for the rear grip, you could go for the pistol fast draw to actually get it out faster into your hands, shooting this for sprint and fire speed and aim down sight speed. Now that's 4 attachments in, and that little bad boy also, yes, shoots up, but you have to find the right cadence of shooting again. Yes, you have less bullets here right now, so you go for 1, 2, 1, 2. If you actually look at the recoil, very good looking on that. Same as the Desert Eagle, it shoots again on the same position. Biggest problem is you can't put more bullets in. It's a 5-chamber revolver. The only thing you could do is getting faster movement speed or getting more reserve ammunition. Both of this is not really worth it at all. So I would look at the lock shot here to get the horizontal and the vertical even tighter squeezing together. Ammunition wise, there's nothing that's really worth it, at least not for the long range version. And then you get this 1, 2, 1, 2. See, I overshot because I was shooting too fast. And 1, 2. Now I do think the Desert Eagle is better on long range, and the Basilisk will definitely work on short range like a king. If you want something to truly spam away in this mid range with a click, 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 the PA90 is your friend, because that can go up to 20 meters. And then afterwards, we're going to build, especially with the X13 auto, the guns that work 10, 12. As the P90 also does 20 meters, let's try to get it long range viable. And there's the Harbinger barrel, which gives another 20% effective damage range and actually insane recoil control values on the verticals. I was really bamboozled when I saw that, like 35%, 20% horizontal. What? Along with the barrel and the S2 mini tac sign, you have something that just really doesn't move at all. I could even put the sight off, but I do really like to have that sight on. You're essentially just having the red dot and then you just shoot it away, right? Even though the gun itself bounces into the sign, it's helpful for me to align my shots and then be able to just spam away. And even if you shoot extremely fast, as you notice here, the gun is more or less still just shooting at one spawn with a little bit of horizontal bibbity bounce. Now we could shoot that gun even faster with the Bruin Express, adding another 67 RPM for sprint and fire speed and aim down sight speed. Still, you might use this on long range, but it's a pistol. And we're going to put on the 12 round mag. have one attachment left over, nothing worth it on the ammunition. Looking at the rear grips, and here could go for the fast draw, but I'll go for the recoil control grip, then tune this for sprint of fire and aim down side speed, because again, this way around gives us the best stats. And now the gun looks quite juicy, can be absolutely spammed away. Looks weird, but shoots exactly in one spawn. So if you have to shoot close Kevin, really good. Middle mark, no problem. Distance Dave, you might slow it a little bit down, but you can still hit your shots nicely on. Realistically though, due to the fire rate and everything, this gun is really meant for these 20 meters opponent. And after 20 meters, you're better having the Desert Eagle going on, or even the Basilisk, because you notice the gun has a high idle stability where it goes like from left to right. But this one here, no problem. Now we get the X12, the Basilisk as a shotgun, and the X13 auto. Now the X13 is full auto, but yeah, you're shooting it and there's you see nothing, right? you're just essentially shooting hit markers. Now keep in mind, we're mostly fighting bots and not players, and players will also be extremely close up. There's one attachment that's really interesting in the X13, and it's called the impact point, which essentially allows us to put even more attachments on. This one goes for aim down side speed and recoil steadiness. And with this one, you could actually think about putting stocks on and also underbarrels, which is quite unique for a pistol. But the first thing that we're looking at is the magazine. You have the 33 round and you have the 50. Now a lot we're gonna yell, put the 50 on. But the reality is that the 50 round mag has twice the detriment of the 33 round mag. So with the 33, you're a little bit better off, because you don't want minus 100 ADS time. And for the underbarrel, we're going for the OPX9 to tune this to its hipfire accuracy and hip recoil control as well, since you're gonna be able to use this gun as essentially as a auto SMG to really hit your opponents here on the close. And yes, you can see now better, and on the 20 meters, but you also want to be able to just basically start with a bit hip fire on the gun if people get extremely close to you. And that's where I put on the 1 milliwatt laser for hip spread and also sliding hip fire accuracy. Now, in order to get that recoil down so you can actually see something, we're going to go for the Comp 905 pistol to tune this for gun kick control and recoil stabilization. And with all three together, you do actually have a pocket SMG that can really easily hit this. Also the 20 meter shots, but again, you're more 20 meters and below. And your hip fire starts very decent too, in case these pesky bots are just in front of you, creating an actual mini SMG, not with the time to kill of an SMG, but with the characteristics of one. Keep in mind, after 12 meters, you're gonna start falling off. Which brings us to the X12. Got 17 meters effective damage range, not the 20 meters of the P890. Still can be turned into a way faster fire rate machine with a lightning fire, giving us 158 RPM bonus. I mean, you can't even shoot that fast. Like this, you can like, this is literally the fire rate that the pistol can have. Can't even tap it away as fast as it's humanly possible with this gun. And here, the same as for the X13 auto, the 33 is fine, the 50 is just too negative. The barrels do not much for the gun, a little bit of recoil control and a little bit of movement speed or aim down side speed, but it doesn't really make the gun much better. Rather look here at the recoil control back grip that you can then tune for sprint of fire speed and aim down side speed. If you want to take a side, that is possible, but again, even with a side on far and aim down side speed, if you're going in, you're again kind of ending up at the point where you shoot more with your hit marker than actually with your sight. I mean, you could still use the sight to at least align it, I guess, that you know if the frame is around your target that you're hitting. And that's kind of like what I like to do, because I know if he's in the middle of my frame, he's in the middle of my frame. For the muzzle here, we could also look for the 905F comp to tune this then towards gun kick control and recoil stabilization, making it very agile and mobile. I mean, it's a pistol, like you can't make pistols less agile and mobile. But if you're actually shooting it, this is one of the guns where it just doesn't fly up in your face. Might even be better on the P890 on range, but you can't really turn out any effective damage range. You have to essentially like use it on the 18 meters max, and then your damage just drops off. Which brings me to my favorite, the Basilisk, but this time not as a long range shooter. No, we're going for the snake shot to turn this into a shotgun. Going for the same Bryson match grade as before, tuning this for sprint of fire speed and aim down side speed with a laser on the hip fire recoil accuracy and the sprint of fire speed on hip spread and sliding hip fire accuracy. On the rear grip with a fast draw, because you want to whoop this thing out as fast as possible, aim down side speed, sprint to fire speed. And you're most of the time just going to tip tap it away. And for the barrel, there's only one, and that's the F-Tech arrow. Regardless, it increases our effective damage range, gives us movement speed, some hipfire accuracy, some bullet velocity, only for the minus of a little bit of recoil control, but recoil control is really not what you need. Pull it to aim down side speed and recoil steadiness. And if you put this into the firing range, don't forget, you do actually have a shotgun. That can still ADS down if you want to ADS down, but most of the time, as you see, you're going to use this close up for him. That's 10 meters. Would be possible to obviously get him down. I mean, yeah, sure, you hit the one or the other bullets maybe on the 20, but we're not even attempting the 20. And if he's that far away, you might aim down because it makes everything a little bit clutcher, but you could still just go for the spamming away. Best run at them and get them down. Very effective against bots. Which is your favorite pistol to use, and would you play DMZ with a pistol only? Get your friends together, Splinter Cell, Action Team, Rainbow Six Siege kind of style? I love it. If you think that's bullcrap and you would rather go for long-range laser beaming, I get you provided with the top 5 meta loadouts. No problem.